Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. My name is Melissa, and I'm here to lead you through yoga. We're going to practice together for 45 minutes today. As we go through class, just a reminder to listen to your body. If any of the stretches that we are working with do not work for you, please skip them. You can come out, you can modify. Things that you're going to need for your practice today is you'll want to have a mat to practice on. And if you'd like additional props, you could definitely have the blanket and the block close by. They are not a necessity for practice, so they can just help with some of the stretches. And as we go through class today, we'll be doing a variety of some seated, standing, reclining stretches. So if you have to adjust your screen, please do so. And I was thinking, as a focus of our practice today, we could work on our hips a little bit. We've probably all been sitting a lot through the day today. So this can be a really nice hip stretching practice, so beneficial for the legs and so beneficial for our low backs. So why don't we get started in a seated position today? And as you come down to seated, maybe you'd like to sit on a block. Sometimes that can be nice to lift the hips a little higher than the knees. It helps to take some pressure off of the knees. It also allows for your pelvis to roll forward, which can be nice to take a little pressure off of the knees and lengthen the spine a little bit more. We're going to start with a few rolls out of the shoulders. Let's begin to take our shoulders up to the ears. We'll create a nice large circle. Shoulders relax as you exhale. Take a full breath in. We'll draw those shoulders up, back, and down. And one more time. Let's take a full inhale here and a full exhale here. Now we'll make our way into stillness. And we're just going to take some time to center, to release the day so far, to drop into our body, our breath, and the present moment. And then as we begin here, maybe just doing a scan of your body, noticing where you might be holding on to tension, and letting that tension go as you exhale. As you turn your awareness to your breathing, just try to inhale and exhale through your nose. So through our class today, we'll try to avoid breathing through the mouth. And if it's possible, see if you can find a little bit more length as you inhale and a little bit more length as you exhale. Feel free to set an intention for class today, and that could be anything. Maybe that you want to relax, or if you're holding tension in your body, maybe wanting to let that go. Let's begin by extending our right leg in front of us. And if you're sitting on a prop, you can always send that off to the side. So we're just going to extend that right leg out. So it can be right in front or at a little bit of an angle. Let's just take a nice full inhale to lengthen, and we're going to come over for a little gentle fold on the exhale. This doesn't have to be a full expression of a fold, but just this very gentle suggestion of a fold to start to open up our low back. We'll walk ourselves up to neutral. Let's bring our left hand down. You can also come down onto your forearm if you wanted a little more. We're going to sweep that right arm up and over, finding a little bit of a side stretch here. Maybe gaze up, maybe gaze down. See if there's an option that gives you more stretch for your neck. Core will bring us to center. Right hand down, left hand lift, side stretch here. And then getting a little rotation. Left shoulder comes back, right shoulder under, heart is shining up to the sky. back through to center. Let's take our right foot and kick it behind us. So we're gonna have, sometimes we call this deer legs or Z legs. We have both of our legs bent and then both of our feet are moving off towards the right side of the mat. Try for a twist here. We're gonna inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, hands to the left for a twist. And then as you're twisting here on the in-breath, see if you can lengthen the spine. And then on your out-breath, seeing if you can deepen your twist a little bit more. Back through to center. We're going to inhale, hands up, hands to the right on the exhale. Maybe gaze off your right shoulder and just noticing if that helps you move a little deeper into your twist. We'll bring ourselves back through to center. Hands reach to the sky in prayer. Hands to the heart. Let's sweep the right foot to meet our left foot. Soles of the feet will come together. Insides of the feet peel from one another. We just kind of bounce out those knees a little bit. And to make this easier, feet are going to come further from your body. And then to get more of that inner leg stretch, you can always walk your feet in a bit more. Now let's come to stillness. Left leg will extend out to the side, so a little angle or in front of you, but we're gonna aim to take the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left leg. Full inhale, option to reach the hands up. You can also just kind of walk yourself into this one too, so you can see what works best for your body here. We'll just find a little gentle fold. We call this one Janu Shirshasana, head to knee stretch. And you may want to see if you can gently roll your right shoulder down a little bit, just to get even shoulders here. Make your way back on up, core engagements. Right hand lowers or forearm comes down to the ground. Let's take an inhale. We're going to rise up and over. See if you can find that expansion in the ribs as you breathe. So we're going to go for that nice, deep full inhale and nice, deep full exhale. Core engages, back to center, left hand down, right hand lifts. Maybe on the hand, maybe deep it, go down onto that forearm. See if you can find some space in the heart and the collarbone area. We're gonna come on up. Left foot, we're gonna kick it behind us, back towards the glutes. Find our deer legs. So we're gonna take an inhale here and releasing hands to the right on exhale for a twist. And then just seeing if you can breathe into your low back, mid back, upper back. And then releasing from the upper, mid, and low back. Hands to the sky. Let's inhale here. Hands to the left on the exhale. Little counter twist. Just seeing if you can breathe into that front body twist now. So we want to breathe into our stomach, our ribs, our chest. And then releasing from the chest, the ribs, and the stomach. We are going to breathe in here. Let's take those hands up, hands to heart, and we're going to meet in tabletop. So if it works for you, maybe draw the hands to the top of your mat, just spin onto your knees. We're going to just start by bringing our knees in line with our hips. We'll take our wrists in line with our shoulders, and then feeling the fingers fan out nice and wide here. Right leg will extend behind you. We'll bring our toes on the mat to start. We will press through our heel and the back of the knee. Heel in line with your hip, or let's lift it up. We're gonna roll our right hip down, trying to even off our low back and even off through the hips. Left hand out in front, arm frames the ear, thumb to the sky, and crunches. Let's go for 5. We're gonna take knee, elbow to touch. Rounding, crunching, lengthening. Exhale, rounds. Good. Let's go 3 more times here with the breath. And we'll reset. We're gonna float left hand down, right knee down, lower the stomach. Let's lift through the heart. We're gonna back bend here. Grounding into the hands and the knees, round your back body, chin to chest. And then neutral spine. Left leg behind, toes curl under, press through the heel, the back of the knee. Let's lift it on up, zipping the core up, finding that balance in the low back and the hips. Right hand out in front. Let's find our crunches here. Back through to balancing table. Let's bring that knee down, hand down for tabletop. And we'll work with dolphin to work on strengthening our shoulders. Let's bring it down onto our elbows. Reach for opposite arms. Hands come out in front. Either fingers interlock, palms touch, or hands will press down into the mat. Toes curl under, hips lift up, finding dolphin. And if you would like more, maybe walk your toes towards your face. You can also find organic movement on this one. You could shake it out a little bit. You could bend one knee, you could bend the other knee. You could shake your head yes, you could shake your head no. We'll be here for a few breaths. So if you'd like more challenge, right leg can lift up. You could take a 3-limb dolphin. If this is too much for you, you can just hang out in dolphin. We'll reset back to dolphin. Left leg lifts when you're ready. If you'd like to go there, always the option to build, make things more challenging, or make things a little easier. Foot plants down. Knees are going to lower. Let's take a toe stand. Toes will curl under. Sit back onto your heels. If the knees are really tight, maybe standing up on the knees. Also, if the feet are really super tight too, maybe standing on the knees will be a bit better. We can stay here. Option to try for a balance. You can come onto your toes, hands to the sides of your body, maybe one hand to the heart, other hand meets it. And create a little sensation like you could lift your hips off of your heels. So we're really going to try to lengthen our spine on this one. Let's begin to release. We're going to come forward to table, tap out the feet to release that one. Take a full inhale. Let's bring it back to a down dog on exhale. And as you take down dog, feel free to shake it out a little bit here. Maybe bend one knee and bend the other knee. Maybe relaxing the head yes and relaxing the head no. As you find stillness, let's come into plank. We'll work with our high push-up pose. Knees can lower if you'd like. We're going to take up dog. So let's lower down with controlled chaturanga. We'll come into upward facing dog. Let's see if we can reach and stretch through the crown of the head. We'll press it back. Down dog as you exhale. Right leg will float to the sky. Let's find the 3-limbed dog. Right knee to your right tricep. Let's do a little tap and float forward. Send your foot up and back. Bring your knee to your nose. Up and back. Right knee to your left tricep. Cross it over. Up and back. And then we'll take a nice big step through for runner's lunge. And begin to bend and straighten your front leg. Now, as we work through this flow here, if this is a bit too much for you, right knee or left knee is going to come down onto the mat for a little support. Hands can be on the blocks for support as well. And then number one alignment cue is just be mindful that your right knee and your right ankle are in the same line. They're stacked. We don't want our knee to come too far forward. So just having That nice alignment of knee in line with ankle or knee behind the ankle. Let's take a moment to come into runner's lunge. Core engages. We're going to come forward for a warrior 3 pose. We'll work with our balancing warrior here. And then as you align in warrior 3, feel free to have the hands at the hips so that you can feel that alignment of your hips even, right? We don't want that left hip to lift too much. But other options would be hands out in front, maybe arms along the body. Let's come down for runner's lunge. We'll straighten our right leg. Exhale, fold forward to runner stretch. And we'll just be here for a moment. So if you wanted to experience more stretch, you can encourage your right hip back and your left hip forward. Right knee bends. Let's try warrior 3 again. We'll spring off that back foot. Now, imagining if you could see yourself, that you would try to create a capital T with your body. So we want to feel this long line from our right heel to right hip, and then long line from left heel to the crown of the head. Let's bring it back. We're going to float to runner's lunge. Right hand to the sky. Let's twist it out for runner's twist. And then as you're twisting here, see if you can get the shoulders to stack and open. So we want to feel shoulders in one line and then also the wrists in one line. Let's engage the core. We're going to come forward. So we find that runner's lunge. We'll take warrior 3 again. We'll take it one last time here on the side. Be mindful of your neck on this one. So we want to try to lengthen the back of our neck. We don't want to be cranking the head too much, so just a very neutral gaze. Warrior 1, let's take it down, give those legs a little break. Nice. Deep bend in the right knee, hands to the sky, left heel is grounded, and actively pressing out through your heel and the back of your knee. Let's take an opportunity to relax the right hand down your back, and then left hand will help you into a stretch. So we're just going to work for a nice little shoulder opener here. Let's see if we can encourage that left hip and left shoulder forward. And we're just going to change up the hands. Inhale, left hand down your back, right hand can help you into that stretch. Let's see if we can get that right shoulder and right hip to come back a little bit. So get that nice alignment in the body. And we're going to release to warrior 1. Hands are going to come down, runner's lunge. Find your way to plank, high push-up pose. As you find plank, let's lower down chaturanga. We'll come into an up dog. Let's see if we can relax our shoulders away from the ears. We'll press it back. Down dog when you're ready. Left leg floats right on up to the sky. Left knee to left tricep. Float and tap forward. Send the leg up and float it back. Knee to nose, around through the spine. Up and back. And left knee to your right tricep. Send it up and float it back. Come on through. Let's land in runner's lunge. Opportunity to bend and straighten the front leg. Now, as we move into the stretches on the second side of the body, trying to cultivate that awareness, noticing if the stretch feels very similar on this side of the body to the first side that we worked on, may feel very similar, can also feel very different one side to the next side. Come on through. Let's bring it to runner's lunge. Warrior 3, balancing here. And then check in with the breath. So we want to keep those nice, deep, full inhales and exhales through the nose. Let's release to runner's lunge. Straighten your front leg. Let's fold it over. And maybe notice here in your own body, where are you feeling the stretch? And then let's breathe into that. So a nice deep full inhale and exhale. Bending into your left knee. Let's come forward into warrior three. Now on this one, let's all check in, make sure that our core is engaged. So all of our poses, we can have that strong engagement of the core. And reset. Let's bring it to runner's lunge. Left hand to the sky, twist it out. See if you can get that nice extension here. So fingertips, we find this long line, fingertips to fingertips, through the shoulders. And reset. Let's take warrior three. One last time on the side, spring through. And check in, see if you can get that nice alignment of your hips. So natural tendency of the body is right hip will want to roll up. So we're going to roll that hip down. Land in warrior one position. Now hands to the sky when you're ready. Let's take this opportunity to really press into our right heel. So we get this opportunity for a calf and a hamstring stretch here. Left hand's gonna float down your back. Right hand helps you. So stretch there for your shoulder. Can you get that shoulder blade to melt down the back a little bit more? Hands up, inhale, right hand relaxes down. Left hand helps you into that stretch. And release. Let's float ourselves back through into our warrior one pose. Hands are gonna come down, finding your way to runner's lunge. Let's bring it back into plank. We'll find a high push-up pose. As we find plank, we'll lower chaturanga. We'll come to an up dog. We are going to try to open our heart and our chest here. Let's bring it back. Down dog on exhale. Let's work with wild thing. So wild thing gives us the opportunity to build on our flip dog stretch. And this one can be a little bit of that deeper stretch in your shoulder. So if you need to skip it, you can definitely do that. Right leg will begin to float up. We're going to bend, we'll stack, we'll open. Feel free to hang here. If you wanted more, right foot can float to the left. So you're just gonna flip the foot over. Left leg, let's keep it straight. We're gonna come onto the outer edge of our left foot. We'll rise onto the tippy toes of our right foot. Our right hand's gonna reach up and overhead. We're lifting the right hip up so that we can get this really nice back bend. We are gonna reset back. Three-limbed dog, right leg up. And let's try a crescent warrior from here. Right foot forward, left heel stays lifted. We're gonna take our hands and reach them up. We'll have that nice deep bend in our front knee. We're going to really breathe into this opportunity to open up the hip flexor and the psoas on the left side. So these ones tend to get a little short, a little tense when we're sitting. So crescent gives them that really, really nice stretch. Let's take a nice full inhale here. As you exhale, warrior two, we'll open it up. And you may have to adjust your feet a tad. We'll have our front heel in line with back arch, shoulders over hips, hands reach forward, hands reach back. Right leg will straighten, hips will kick to the back of the room, right hand reaches and stretches forward, hand releases down. Let's come into a triangle pose, also called Trikonasana. Maybe imagine your body in between two panes of glass here. So we just want to feel our body in one straight line. From here, let's come into a balancing half moon pose. If that's in your practice, you can always hang out in this one for a little bit if you want. If you're interested in building, right hand's going to come out in front. Left foot begins to lift up. We are gonna flex our left foot so that our left toes are pointing to the left side of the room. And then get this really nice opening here in the hips and in the shoulders. Feel free to hang here for a little more. Left hand for left foot. We're gonna move into sugar cane. Create a sensation of kicking your foot into your hand. So that might give you a little bit more of a back bend, maybe a little bit more of a quad stretch. Slowly unwrap your pose. We're going to meet in warrior two. So wherever you're at, you can find your way there. Allow for the feet to be very active. So almost imagine like your feet could pull in towards the center of the mat. Windmill the hands down. We're going to land in that runner's lunge. Bring yourself back into plank. Find your way to high push-up pose. Chaturanga Dandasana. Let's take an up dog. We are going to see if we can breathe into that nice upper back bend and stretch. Let's take it to down dog on exhale. Left leg, let's float it up. We're gonna bend, stack, open. Feel free to stay here. Left leg can float to the right. Then we'll have that right leg be straight. We're gonna be on the outer edge of our right foot, right the blade, the outer edge there. Toes of your left foot. Hips are gonna lift up, hands gonna reach, stretch up and overhead. For more challenge, can you lift those hips a little higher up? And we're gonna reset back on through. Let's take it to a 3-limbed dog. Big step forward. And let's take it to a crescent warrior. And then as you align here in crescent, activate your right leg. So sometimes this one will bend. So we want to really activate it, press through the back of your knee and then press out through your heel. Let's take an inhale. We're going to reach up. Exhale, warrior two. And then as you ground here, feeling the arms very active. So just feeling that one hand is reaching forward, one hand is reaching back. Arms are active, hands are active. Let's straighten our left leg. Hips will kick back, hands reach and stretch forward, hand lowers down when you're ready. Finding your way into triangle pose. Imagining if you could see yourself in this pose, that you would create these triangle shapes. So a large triangle through the legs and the earth, and a triangle through the arm and the side body and the leg. Feel free to hang out here. Option to work with the balancing half moon stretch. Left hand comes out in front, pressing weight into that left hand. Right foot can lift up. Right toes are pointing to the right. And you can also keep an eye on your left foot. So try to have your left foot straight so that it's lining up with the side edge of your mat, so that you have nice alignment here for your knee and for your hip. Hand for the foot, feel free to deepen if you want. You could try for sugar cane here. Again, we're going to check in with our breathing. Inhale and exhale through your nose. Let it go back to our warrior two position. Creating that awareness of the body. Try to feel that your hips are even. Sometimes I imagine that my pelvis was a bowl of water, and in warrior two, sometimes we would be leaning and feeling this water spilling out this way. So we have to pull this left hip up, right hip pulls down so that the pelvis is even. You can really feel that in your low back. Nice even hips and low back as well. Let's come down. We're going to release to runner's lunge. And from here, let's walk that left foot to the left edge of the mat. So both of your hands are on the inside of the foot. We are going to work a little bit with lizard and gecko here. So for this one, to make it a little easier, right knee can come down onto the mat. For more challenge, right knee can stay off of the mat. And if you would like, hands can be really grounded here into the mat. You can also lower down onto the forearms. And this one can bring up a lot of stretch. So as best as you can, see if you can find a little softness here. Maybe the jaw can relax, the eyebrows can relax. And if you can go there, maybe see if you can gently soften your hips down towards the ground a little bit more. You can breathe into that really nice stretch for the low back. And then we are going to press down into our hands. Right toes curl under. Let's lift our right knee up and we'll step into a fold with our legs wide. Now, option to stay here. If you'd like to try a yogi squat, you can definitely go for that here. And sometimes our trick with the yogi squat is to take the feet out wider. So sometimes the wider the feet, the easier. But if you had your props, those can be helpful as well. You could sit on a block. That can be a great prop. You could also take your blanket, roll that up, put that underneath your heels. That can be a great prop. And maybe see if you can bring your weight into your heels. We want to have light toes and almost like our toes can lift from the ground a little bit. Let's plant our hands straight in the backs of the legs. Let's walk our feet in line with our hips. And left foot will step back, runner's lunge. Right foot walks to the right edge of the mat. Feel free to lower your back knee down. And then we're going to try for that lizard gecko stretch on the other side. On the hands, on the forearms. And up to you. Sometimes stillness feels really good. And sometimes movement feels great. So a little rock around side to side, a little shifting of the weight. Sometimes that can help ease you into the stretch. And we're gonna come on out. We're gonna meet in table position from here. So bring that right knee to meet our left knee. You can sweep your feet to the right or to the left. We're gonna come down to seated. Legs will extend out in front. So we're going to just take those feet out nice and wide here. You can kind of walk them out with the heels, inch them out a little bit more. Let's take a nice inhale here. We're gonna come down to fold on exhale. And maybe just checking in with the breath. Trying to find length as you inhale and length as you exhale. We'll bring ourselves on up. Let's take that right arm to right leg, left hand up over side stretch and hip stretch. Try to get anchored in through that left sitting bone. Core engages, left hand down, right hand lifts. Maybe finding that rotation in the upper back, heart will open. And release. Let's come back to neutral. Legs will come together. We can give them a little bit of a shake out here. And let's come down onto our backs. We're going to work with a really nice spinal twist. So we'll start by hugging our knees into our chest. Arms, hands around knees or shins, and a gentle rock to the right and a gentle rock to the left. Let's begin to drop our knees to the right. And then as we drop the knees to the right, feel free to pick your right foot up. And we're just gonna hook our right heel on our left knee, just to give ourselves a little bit more twist here. You can gaze off your left shoulder. Maybe let your eyes close. And as best as you can, trying to get that left shoulder to relax down into the mat. Our twists are so beneficial. It's so good for keeping the spine strong and flexible, helping us maintain our natural mobility, flexibility. Let's begin to release. We're going to unwind back through to center. Let's begin to drop our knees to the left. And we're going to take our left foot up. We're going to hook our left foot on our right knee. So we don't have to wrap the legs up. It's just taking the heel and hooking it on the knee. Then maybe arms into T. You could also take arms into cactus arms, 90-degree angle here. Maybe gaze off your left shoulder if that feels okay in your neck. And then we'll just breathe here for a moment or two. Coming on out of this one, let's start by bringing our feet to the edges of the mat. Knees will be bent. And then gently dropping the knees to the left and to the right. We'll create a little windshield wipe movement here. And then bringing yourself into stillness. We are going to take an opportunity to relax the legs and relax the arms. And Shavasana is a time to slow down, to integrate the benefits of our practice into our minds. body. Take a moment to just become aware of how you feel. Feel your mind relax, calm, at ease. Feel your body aligned and balanced. Tension that you may have come to class with, feeling how that has released with yoga and with meditation, mindfulness. Making your way onto your side, we will come into a fetal position. Maybe create a pillow with the lower arm, gently support your head, and just feeling the body taking the shape of the pose. Rising up, coming into seated when you're ready. As you come into a seated position, hands can come to the heart in prayer, Anjali Mudra. And thank yourself for practicing yoga today, for doing something so good for your mind, for your body. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope that you enjoyed this hip-inspired practice. Have a wonderful evening, and I look forward to seeing you next time. I will be back tomorrow at 3 o'clock East Coast time. We'll do our mindful stretch practice, so a nice 15-minute stretching practice. I hope that you can join, and if you have any feedback or any comments, please leave them in the chat below. It's always so nice to hear from you all and see what you have to say. Take care. We'll see you soon.